All right, today we're diving deep and deconstructing one of the most extreme, most influential performance mindsets out there. It's a philosophy built not on feeling good, but on staring into the absolute worst parts of yourself and doing it every single day. And that quote right there, that tells you everything you need to know. This is not about positive thinking or life hacks. For David Goggins, real answers, real strength, well, that's only found in the most uncomfortable places you can imagine. So to really get our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 5 key pieces. We'll look at why he throws motivation out the window, how he uses pain as a tool, where this whole mindset even comes from, how you would actually apply it, and finally, the incredible cost of living this way. Okay, let's jump right into the first big idea. Goggins basically argues that this thing we all chase, motivation, is completely flawed. It's a trap. You see, he views motivation as this flaky external thing. You get motivated for a marathon or a promotion or some other goal. But what happens after the race is over? Poof, it's gone. Discipline, on the other hand, that's internal. It's an unconditional standard you set for yourself, and it's there for you 24/7. It doesn't need a reason to get out of bed. And this leads to his most challenging concept: perform without purpose. This is all about grinding away when there's no trophy, no applause, no finish line in sight. The only purpose is to uphold your own standard. It's about building this insane readiness so that when a real purpose does show up, you're already a weapon. And that idea of unconditional action flows right into the most controversial part of his entire philosophy: the idea that pain isn't just something you push through, it's something you actively seek out and, well, study. Now, to really get Goggins, you have to understand his physical reality. His default setting is pain. These knees weren't destroyed by his running. He was basically born with them misaligned. He just made a choice to operate within that constant state of pain instead of letting it define him. And this right here, this is his whole method in a nutshell. It's not about pretending the pain isn't there. It's about acknowledging it. Okay, my knees hurt. And then consciously deciding that your feelings don't get a vote on your actions. It's a mental override switch that he flips every single day. So when you boil it all down, for Goggins, suffering is a laboratory. He intentionally puts himself in horrible situations just to study how his mind reacts. He's taking these little mental notes of every weakness, every excuse, so he can go back, analyze it, and be stronger for the next time. So this begs the big question, right? Why? Why would anyone choose to live like this? Why build a life around constant self-inflicted misery? Well, the answer isn't in some self-help book. It's in his childhood. You have to understand, the Goggins philosophy wasn't born in a gym. It was forged in the hell of unbelievable trauma. He grew up feeling completely broken, powerless, and defined by the suffering that was put on him and his family. This was the turning point. After confronting his abusive father years later, he had this huge realization. His dad never faced his own demons, so they just got passed down. And right then, Goggins made a conscious decision to break that chain, to face his own demons head on, no matter how ugly it got. So what you're really seeing is that this entire system is about one thing: control. It's about taking the suffering he never chose as a kid and twisting it into a strength that he did choose as an adult. The persona of the hardest man alive, that's armor. It's armor he built to protect that vulnerable, broken kid he used to be. So we have the why. How does this all translate into something you can actually do day to day? Well, for Goggins, it all starts with this idea that you can't have discipline if your mind is a total mess. He has this fantastic metaphor of a mental garage to explain why so many of us fail at being consistent. It's not that we don't want it enough. It's that we literally have no space for it. Think about it. Our minds are just crammed full of this junk. All the excuses, the insecurities, the fears, worrying about what people think. We say we want to build these great habits, but our mental space is already occupied. It's like a garage so full of old boxes you can't even get your car in. And this visual just nails his point perfectly. Before you can even think about installing a high-performance engine like discipline, you've got to do the dirty work of clearing out all that junk first. You have to organize your mind, face your insecurities, and actually make room for what you claim you want to build. But finally, and this is a really important part, we have to talk about the reality of this philosophy. This is not some 30-day fix. This is a relentless, all-consuming, and frankly, pretty isolating way to live your life. Even at his absolute peak, Goggins felt comfort starting to creep in. He actually came up with this term, part-time savage, to call himself out when he started coasting on his past wins, instead of earning his reputation from scratch every single morning. For him, there is no finish line. Ever. And this shows you his solution, a constant, absolutely brutal self-audit. To stay sharp, he believes he has to have these morning meetings with himself, where he just rips himself apart for yesterday's failures and weaknesses. It's a meeting you can never, ever miss. So here's the unavoidable truth of it all. This path comes with huge trade-offs. It requires you to reject the whole idea of a balanced life. It's a life of chosen hardship and a lonely, continuous war with yourself. It is, by its very nature, completely incompatible with a life of comfort. And all of that leaves us with one final, and I think really critical question to think about. The Goggins Doctrine is an undeniably powerful way to build resilience from suffering, but in its relentless, unending pursuit of hardness, it forces us to ask, what is the real price we pay, and where is that blurring line between becoming our best self and just destroying ourselves?